Welcome and welcome back to our fourth and final IFM Live Talk. What do you need for seamless production down to batch size 1? And what do you need to fulfill your customers' demand in time? As you know, the topic of our session today, you already know the answer. It's all about transparent, efficient and safe intralogistics. Today we will show you 3 of our smart solutions that will make it easier for you to achieve this goal. And we will start right now with Mike Gonchior. Mike, thank you for being here today.
Hello, Philip.
We both will talk about the new O3R, which is not just a new product, but a new complete solution for supporting AGVs. Can you explain a little bit and what are the benefits of this solution?
Yes, sure. It may take we may take a chance to look back in the history of the 3D sensors that we offer since almost of the beginning of 2007, so it's like 15 years ago. And already with the second generation after 2009, we had first use cases where wheelchairs for handicapped people have been automated with the 3D sensors. And in the third generation, we saw increasing use at AGVs or AMRs. So for example, service robots like cleaning robots or inventory scanning systems that are running around in areas where also people are around, or on the other hand on AGVs in the industrial use case like forklift systems or industrial platforms for logistics. In this case, sometimes these logistic platforms have or are automated and they are omnidirectional, so they are able to run in any direction. This means on every corner of the system is a O3D sensor mounted and tries to avoid to bump into something other or has a positioning task, for example. In this case, we always spend like 4 individual processing units, and the customer is not really able to combine this intelligence. Since we saw increasing use of these systems, we started the conversation with our customer to understand what could we make better to solve this application or to serve this application. And one of the questions has been the size of the unit. So due to the reason that every of these sensors carries his own processor board, it's an ARM processor like in a smartphone, the size was quite big, and our customer said they liked the consumer versions like the PrimeSense or RealSense solutions due to the not just due to the price, but also due to the size of them. On the other hand, the drawback of this consumer solutions is that they all of a sudden disappear from the market the next day. And therefore, for industrial solution, you cannot really work with that. And the second thing is they said they would really like to use all the compute power that is distributed in those several heads. And therefore we decided together with them to design one compute box, which is like the brain of the system, and now you can adapt up to 6 of these camera heads to the unit, and beside that there's additional interfaces like USB, Ethernet to connect other devices like scanning systems, or even CAN to connect, for example, ultrasonics or radar systems.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. You mentioned already the long history of vision systems at IFM. So can you explain a little bit what are now the improvements with this camera head? And what can we expect, or what can the customer expect from this?
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned already, one of the improvements is the size. That means compute power went to the box, and therefore we could reduce the size dramatically. It's maybe 4 times smaller than the other ones before. Additionally to that, we included a 2D sensor inside to solve specific tasks, like when you are in a cleaning robot situation in a grocery store and you approach to an object, the AGV has to understand if it can wait until the object goes away or it has to drive around. So for people recognition, for example, the AGV could take a horn and make a noise to get the people away, or even have a speaker that says, please, can you step aside?
Yeah.
But if there is a box, it will never step aside, so
Yeah.
they have to drive around. So this is one of the tasks. But also, if you have a task to grab your load, then maybe you have to identify the tag or badge of the load, and then you can read this with that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, on the 3D side, we have the newest technology of the chips, so of the time-of-flight chips of our daughter company. The main improvement here is there is a coded modulation which helps you to cut out objects which are far in the background, like very high reflective objects that usually in a time-of-flight situation would come very close to the optics because of there's a reflectivity, or there is let's say there's the unambiguous range which says over the measurement range every object looks very near.
Okay.
This is avoided by the coded modulation. You can define your working range and then cut off the background. That's one hand.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we use instead of LEDs, we use VCSELs, which is a surface emitting laser, has a higher light power, but also the ability to modulate the light much faster, like 4 times higher, like 80 megahertz. And this for the user improves the measurement accuracy in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the temperature affectability, which usually is on a LED, is cut out with this system. And finally, we have a different interface to it. It's a FAGRA connector with FPD link, usually known from our O3M or from automotive industry, from back driving cars, or back driving cameras in your own car, for example.
Okay, perfect. We talked about the box already, which is, you said, the brain of this system. Let's say, what languages does this brain talk? So what can I, which language I can operate with this camera? And is there any hardware or software requirement I have to keep in mind?
Also there we got into the conversation with our customers and tried to find a good solution that fits to most of the use cases. So we try to give the ability to help people in the pre-development and also in the serial development. Mm-hmm. The unit features Yocto Linux distribution, and on top of that a Docker system. This Docker system gives the ability to put algorithms or functions in small blocks onto the VPU, which have a clear interface to each other. You will be able to use Python or ROS for the pre-development, but also C++ and ROS2 for the final development. So we kept this very open, mm-hmm. but also gonna offer some ready solutions, so fixed algorithm packages like the pallet detection or obstacle detection, and also Lego blocks for customers who want to design their own, but maybe like to cut off the background or cut off the floor. So this will be a very flexible solution.
Yeah, perfect. Mike, thank you for this short overview of this. It's a preview of this solution. And let's see if there are any questions. If there are questions, no questions left. So thank you, Mike, very much. If there are questions later on, just write them down in the chat and we will answer them afterwards. Thank you. And we will continue with our next topic, which is an RFID solution. As AGVs can't improve processes if there is no needed parts in stock. And we are waiting for Frank Neuwirth now, as he can tell us a little bit more about the solution based on RFID. Now this is.
Darf ich meinen Zettel hinlegen?
Yes, you may. Frank, thank you for being here today. We're talking about the check and trace gateway. which is based on RFID, which is a well-known technology.
Yep.
But now you offer a combination of hardware and software. So maybe you can get a little bit closer to me, to the table. Yeah, can you explain how does this combination of hardware and RFID and software ease the life of a warehouse manager?
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you have a look for the task of a warehouse manager, normally they are looking for increasing efficiency, increasing the quality, and they would like to decrease the cost. So that the global view of the task. And if you have a look, especially for the goods in and outcoming part of the warehouse, you can see that there are several questions according to this. So where are the goods coming in? Which goods are coming in? And where are the goods needed, for example, in the next step?
Yeah.
And the answer that IFM is giving to these questions, that's the IFM gate solution. So we call it the IFM gate solution.
Yeah.
And the big advantage of this solution is that we always also have everything in one case, in one package, and also you have the direct integration into your IT level.
Yeah.
So that means you are very flexible and you can increase, for example, the efficiency because you are able to link your production, your inventory, and also your suppliers for your goods, which you need in your production plan in the next step.
So no more paperwork.
No more paperwork at this time. Also to tag all the items which are coming inside your plant. With this RFID gate solution, it's much more easier as in the past. For example, if you have a barcode on every pallet, sometimes maybe some of these barcodes are missed or they're not tagged, because every tag or every item which is not tagged avoid cost. And that's typical costs that you do not like to have. So you are looking forward that you make your product process efficiency. So that means something is coming inside, you directly identify the products and transmit this information directly to your IT department. And with this IT, you can do everything what you need inside your plant.
Yeah, and the same if the products go out of the warehouse, you know, they're running out of stock and you can order them. You mentioned the tags. So when there's a truckload coming in, how many tags can be read by this RFID gate, and how fast or how slow?
No, that's a nice question. Especially to the technology we use. We use an RFID UHF system, and with this one, I would like to say that endless numbers of tags, but it depends a little bit on the application.
Okay, nearly endless.
Yeah, nearly endless. So a lot of these applications are just carrier tracking or carrier identification. So that means, for example, only the pallet is tagged, and you know that the pallet X and Y is coming in or is going out, and your local IT system knows which items are on these pallets. It's also possible to say, okay, it's not only the pallet, it's an item itself, and that depends on the item. So we do have customers making furnitures, and so every part of the furniture is tagged by one tag.
Sure.
But a typical application number for the tag is maybe between 1 for the item for the pallet and maybe 50 or 100 at the same time.
Okay.
Theoretically, more is possible, but that's not really common use.
Yeah. So if I like to set up such a solution, what do I need? What do I have to buy? And I think there are many warehouses with more than one gate. So how scalable is this solution?
So the IFM solution, the IFM gate solution, first of all, is a package solution. So we offer different packages to our customers, and these packages just depends on how you would like to trigger something's coming in or is going out. For example, our customer are able to have a package with an O3D camera, so it's a very comfortable solution with this one. As well, it's also possible to have the same solution instead of the O3D camera with the through beam sensors in the lower part of this gate. So that's the number one of this solution. And in the second one, also for your second question, how you can scale it. We offer customers different packages. So one we call the master package. It's always with a control unit, and this control unit is also directly connected to your IT department. And with this extension for the second gate, for the third gate, or for the fourth gate, and so on, you can build up like a row. That means in total you can have up to 10 gates with one master package and 9 extension packages for this one. And that's very comfortable as well for customers because the extension packages are configured via a very easy to handle display unit.
Okay.
And also the connection from the IT is made from this unit.
Oh, perfect.
So it's independent if you have 1 gate or 10 gates, it's always the same connection to your IT level.
Perfect.
Yep.
As you said, it's all about costs. So, 10 gates or 1 master packages and 10 extensions or 9 extensions.
Yep.
Of course, it's worth the price, no question. But what can you tell about the return on invest? Is there anything you can say about?
Yeah, especially the return of invest, it depends very much from the application, from the goods are transported.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, in the beginning, we are talking about the warehouse manager.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 major points for them. So, they deliver the wrong pieces,
Mm-hmm.
they deliver too much or less.
Yeah.
In every case, they have a problem.
Yeah.
And this depends also for the cost, at the end of the cost, if you deliver a furniture, as we talked before, or just a can or a small box or a Coke or something like this one. Yeah. So there are some studies available where you can see that the average cost of a missing or of a wrong good is an average 17 euro.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have this 17 euro, just as a calculation base, if you have 17 euro for one missing or wrong part, and then you have to calculate how many goods you are deliver in a year. And all about this, you can make a very easy calculation. If you have a gate and you are sure that you do not have this missing gates or missing gap anymore, then you have a return of invest point. And this return of invest point is normally less than 1 year.
Okay.
You can reach this target in less than 1 year. But for everybody who would like to have a closer look to this one, especially if you say, in my application it's not 17 euro, it's maybe 5 euro or 10 euro.
Yeah.
Also the rate of missing parts. So normally studies talk about between 0.3 and 3%. Maybe one of our customers say maybe here it's a little bit less or a little bit more. We do have this calculator on our web page where you can do this by yourself. And then you got a return of invest directly if you figure out what's the cost for wrong items, how many missing items I do have, and how many items I do have in a year, and then you get this number.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you can see it's a quite nice, simple to use application solution, and nevertheless it's also easy to use for the customer because everything is close to you in this case.
Yeah.
Because even if you say, okay, I would like to use the IT integration, so the IFM is very close to the company GIB, which is an IFM company, to make integration support for the level from our hardware devices, software devices, into the IT level from customer, especially for SAP systems. And that was the part I'm missing so much right now, because we would like to show this at the SPS in a live demonstration.
Yeah, it's sad, but the fair was cancelled. Frank, thank you very much for being here, for explaining the RFID gate.
Thank you so much.
There are no questions left, I see, in the chat. So this gives us the opportunity to show again a little bit more about the advantages of the RFID solutions, namely the DTE edition. And thank you for being here. And
thank you.
We see the film. We are back, and since now we have talked a lot about fully automated processes like AGVs and RFID tracking. But don't forget that there are many tasks that are solved by humans and human-driven machines. Daniel Henn is with me now. Thank you, Daniel, for being here.
Thank you, Philip.
Daniel, when we're talking about intralogistics, we have to talk about forklifters, reach stackers, or whatever human-driven vehicles that are cruising around. And it's a really stressful job, I think, because you have to keep your eyes everywhere to keep the load safe, to keep the colleagues safe. So it's very kind of you that you invented the O3M, which is maybe an additional eye for the drivers. Can you explain a little bit about the O3M and what are really the benefits of it?
Yeah, so we developed with the O3M camera system, a so-called, or we are calling it anti-collision system for forklifters. So that means we are using an O3M camera. So this is the O3M camera itself, just black. And it's based on the so-called PMD, time-of-flight technology. So that means we are using a very accurate and reliable system. So we are offering a kind of technology which is able to detect, for example, not just obstacles in the driving way, but also, let me say, persons which are wearing reflective clothes. Yeah? So with the O3M, we are able to detect reflective clothes like vests, like other clothing, typical work wear. Yeah? And with that, we are able to inform the driver very reliable and early, and stop to annoying the driver because of false alarms and all this.
Yeah, perfect. And you can use this, of course, in the inside and in the outside as well.
Yes,
sure, perfect.
You use it inside, outside, doesn't matter. Yeah, rain, snow, sunlight, it's not a problem.
Perfect. And it's usable for every kind of driven vehicle, which is in the way in intralogistics. Yeah. Is it already proven by customers? What do they say?
Yeah, so it's proven by customers for many years, so more than 10 years now. In outside especially, inside it's not a problem, of course, but for the outside part, it was in the past a problem for 3D camera system like that. But since 10 years, we're offering this kind of technology from the PMD side. And it's working, for example, on reach stackers, forklifters, on RTG cranes in ports. We are also refuse trucks, of course, and excavators and so on. So there's a huge bunch of vehicles where you can equip with the O3M. Yeah.
So if I decide to equip my vehicles with the O3M system, how much time do I have to invest? How easy is it to install it?
Yeah. So the big question when you have powerful functionalities is how to make the installation process as easy as it can be. So that means it is, of course, a complex system because you're working with a 3D camera at the end. Yeah. So we developed a special application package. Yeah, we're calling it a ready-to-start application package. So that means you will get a complete package with all devices, pre-programmed and pre-parameterized, with all the cables, and also a little display for the parameterization. So that means for the electrical and mechanical installation, it's due to the customer, of course. But for the real parameterization of the whole system, you need around 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. Without a PC, just the display.
Perfect. Yeah. That's great. We can see here on the Fairboard there's not only the camera, but there is another device next to the camera. Can you explain a little bit what this is?
Yeah, exactly. So what you can see here, we are using a 2D camera stream directly from the 3D camera system. Yeah, so maybe we can see it better here. Yeah, so here we have the 3D part. Here we have the 3D part, here we have the 2D part, and what you can see as an analog picture, or let me say just a video stream here around, it's coming directly from the camera system. So that means if you would like to make it more customized, you can exchange, for example, the IFM logo to your own logo, and that's very easy if you like to make it more customized.
Yeah, perfect. So, Daniel, thank you for the short overview. Is there anything to add?
Yes, thank you very much. Maybe if you like, you can stay tuned because we have another video.
That's it. Yeah.
After that, so.
But first, we have to see if there are questions left. But I don't think so. Just give it a shot. Okay, no questions left. So then we will show the video now from a customer which has the O3M
on the forklift.
On the forklift.
Yeah.
And if there are questions later, we can answer them in the chat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Überall dort, wo Wendigkeit, Präzision und Schnelligkeit aufeinandertreffen, ist höchste Aufmerksamkeit gefragt. Besonders, wenn es um schwere Lasten geht. So auch im Stahlwerk Risse und Wilke in Iserlohn, wo Metalle auf eine Dicke von 0,2 bis 6 mm gewalzt werden. Für die Anlieferung und den Abtransport der Metallcoils kommen spezielle Coilstapler zum Einsatz.
Der Stapler bewegt sich halt im ganzen Werk hier und versorgt das ganze Werk mit Material, liefert Material an, holt Material wieder ab. Die einzelne Last bewegt sich irgendwo zwischen 6 und 18 Tonnen maximal. Da reden wir in 24 Stunden von ca. 3000 Tonnen. Der Staplerfahrer hat einmal seine Hilfsmittel auf dem Stapler, muss aber trotzdem jederzeit voll wachsam sein, muss immer Rundumsicht haben. Er muss natürlich einmal seine Last beobachten, was er macht, was er gerade fährt, wohin er fährt. Muss aber gleichzeitig halt auch gucken, was passiert um ihn herum. Zum Beispiel jetzt hier Kollegen, die hier rumlaufen, Fremdhandwerker laufen hier rum. Er darf halt nicht davon ausgehen, dass der Kollege, der hier rumläuft, ihn sieht. Sondern er muss sicher sein, dass er ihn gesehen hat und auch stehen bleibt und nicht fährt. Ansonsten kann es ganz schnell zu kritischen Situationen kommen, die man natürlich gerne vermeiden möchte.
Neben möglichen Sach- und Personenschäden werden auch die Arbeitsabläufe beeinträchtigt.
Wenn hier in irgendeiner Form mit dem Stapler oder mit dem Kran oder was auch immer was passieren würde, würde dieser Bereich komplett stillgelegt.
Das 3D-Kollisionswarnsystem von IFM hilft dabei, solche Situationen zu vermeiden. Das System überwacht permanent den rückwärtigen Fahrweg des Staplers und gibt dem Fahrer ein visuelles und akustisches Feedback. Sämtliche Hindernisse werden zuverlässig erkannt. Insbesondere Personen, die reflektierende Kleidung tragen, können früher vom 3D-System registriert und der Fahrer gewarnt werden. So bleibt genug Zeit, um den Stapler rechtzeitig abzubremsen. Die Inbetriebnahme des Systems ist denkbar einfach. Neben dem Sensor, der Beleuchtungseinheit, der Steuerung und dem Display sind im Application Package alle benötigten Komponenten für die unkomplizierte Montage und Verkabelung enthalten. Anhand nur weniger Parameter kalibriert sich der O3M selbstständig und ist innerhalb kürzester Zeit einsatzbereit. Damit der Fahrer nur dann gewarnt wird, wenn es wirklich notwendig ist, lassen sich verschiedene Zonen definieren. So kann der O3M je nach Situation optimal genutzt werden und trägt dazu bei, dass Unfälle zuverlässig vermieden werden. Gleichzeitig sind Fehlauslösungen nahezu ausgeschlossen.
Das System ist natürlich sehr gut zur Risikominimierung. Das heißt, ich kann es an Staplern einsetzen, um zu verhindern, dass Mitarbeiter in den Gefahrenbereich treten und eben überhaupt gar nicht erst zu einer Gefahrensituation oder einer Risikosituation kommt.
We've reached the end of our fourth IFM Live Talk, and all I have to say is thank you for watching, thank you for your interest, thank you for interacting with us the last 3 days. And also I'd like to thank everyone of my colleagues in front and behind the cameras for realizing these talks. Thank you very much. And we hopefully see us next time on a physical fair. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and bye.